All right, college football kicks off this week. The Citadel football opens its season tonight at Mercer. But first, Coach Brent Thompson stopped by to give us a preview of the season. And, Coach, you're the defending Southern Conference co-champion. Congratulations. Good to have you here. Good to have you in Charleston. How do you go from a really good winning season, 9-4 last year? How do you go into this season? You prepare the guys. You're mentally moving yourself in that direction.
Yeah, well, we started back in January. And, you know, first thing that we did was we said, you know, what got us to this point? You know, what was the process? What was the process that it took to get to this point? And we did the same thing, and we said, you know what, we don't want to change anything. We don't want to change anything that we're doing offensively. We don't want to change anything that we're doing defensively. But in January at that time is we got to prepare. We got to prepare our body. So we didn't want to do anything from a strength conditioning standpoint to a spring football standpoint to really the way that we run our offense and the way that we run our defensive practices. So everything's about stayed the same, and we're just trying to build upon last year and not try to replicate it, but, you know, continue to build upon it.
How many continuing players do you have? You know, because there were a number of seniors that are there that graduated, but how many players were on the team last year that are coming into the roster this year?
We've got a pretty veteran roster coming back. I think we're returning 7 starters on the offensive side, and I think it's the same amount, 7 or 8 on the defensive side as well. We're going to replace our all-conference scorer. That was a good kicker for us, and that was Eric Goings. He's going to he went ahead and graduated last year, so we're going to have a little bit changeover in the special teams area, but offensively and defensively, we're going to have to replace just a couple of spots there.
Yeah, the Citadel football stadium is Johnson Hagan Stadium. It's a phenomenal stadium. It's great. It's been reconditioned over the last several years. But back to you coaching and so forth. This is your first year with coaching of the Citadel. What do you bring the history of your experience? What do you bring into the Citadel that you really want to make a big difference?
Well, I have a little bit of a military college background, so I kind of understand not only what it takes to recruit the student athlete to the Citadel, but also what it takes to stay there and and be a part of the Corps of Cadets, which I think is very important, part of the unique aspect of our school, which fits into what we want to do, from a football perspective as well. As we work together well as a team. We're an offensive team, we're a defensive team, we're a special teams unit. But we all come together and form the Citadel. So I think that's the most important thing is trying to build upon what we already have as the Corps Cadets.
Because going to a 4-year college is one thing. Being on the football team is an additional thing to that, but being a cadet, whether it be here or at the Naval Academy or West Point or the Air Force Academy, that brings in a whole lot of more difficulty for the student, right?
Absolutely. Our players, our cadets,
I could not have done that at 18 years of age. Even though I spent some time in the military, I could not have done that at 18 years of age for 4 years.
It's difficult. We are keeping between 10 and 12-hour days between their class schedules, their core responsibilities, as well as their football responsibilities, and each segment is pulling at them a little bit more and more each day. The academics is very rigorous there. The core lifestyle, making sure that their life is in order there, and then of course in the football, we're gonna ask to maximize about as much time as we can to win football games. So I don't know how they do it. They do a great job doing it. And our players are there for 10 months out of the year, which is not easy.
I know the General Rosa and the whole crew that works at the Citadel and yourself, huge support, huge alumni. I got the Stray Dog Society. I love being a member of that as well. But when you guys go out on the field, the fans are waiting and expecting. How do you think about your performance is going to be straight off the bat?
We feed a lot off of the fan excitement because there's very few schools that have the whole core, your whole school is in attendance right there. So we feed off of that. We enjoy having them there, and we've even had them at some away games, which has been great. But not only that, I had an opportunity to get out this spring and meet a lot of our alumni. They're very, very excited about Citadel football. In fact, as the year went on, we set some attendance records towards the end of the year. So we're really excited. We set some season ticket holder attendance records this year. We're expecting a big crowd come our home opener on September the 10th against Furman at 7 o'clock. So I think that's going to be a great atmosphere for our players to enjoy.
To wear the Citadel ring as a graduate is not only an honor, but it's a privilege as well.
Absolutely.
Glad to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Coming up. All right, we've got more coming up. Low Country Live in just a moment. Stay